Hello everyone! Welcome to today's cast. It's going to be University of Waterloo versus Ryerson University. And here we are, and yet again the Skype window is off center. Aha. So it took some time to get started, as the lineups
We've already encountered drama.
Well, it's like a really small drama, so it's whatever. But the lineups
I should say misunderstanding.
A little bit, yeah. So I mean, I guess the drama was in the fact that maybe it does look like to the other team it should have been disqualification, but the admins have assured us that basically there might be a penalty, but they're going to figure it out after, as it was just a simple mistake. And I mean, they are playing for a prize and all, but I think this is also one of those things where it's also all good fun.
Sure.
Who was it? Okay, there's actually a lot of talk here, so I'm not gonna know. But one of these guys actually said that we don't even think we have a chance to win, so I don't know how good those guys are feeling.
Then why bother playing? Like, you gotta have the winning attitude, man. Like, don't think like that. You'll get defeated before you even begin. Like, that's how you for sure don't have a chance. If I say you don't have a chance, you gotta. What's it? Fake it till you make it, right? That's the thing.
Like sleeping.
Yes, Zombie Grub likes sleeping.
Okay, yeah, Waterloo apparently isn't very hopeful. There we go.
Which team is Buster on? The other team?
Buster is on Waterloo.
Really? Waterloo is the Grandmaster opening player, and they're not feeling hopeful.
Yep.
Maybe it was sarcasm?
It might have been sarcasm. I mean, there also is something we said that you're not allowed to play the same guy over and over, so there's that. So maybe he's like the one good person on the team, but it also could have just been sarcasm.
Oh, he's actually Archon. Oh wait, so his opponent's Archon Grandmaster. So maybe AS comes out in the Archon mode and kicks some ass.
Yeah, that would make sense. I actually have the lineups now, as they have finally been submitted, and AS does come out on the Archon team with Worst SC2. Great name. I asked them if they're ready. I don't think they're paying attention, though, so... Oh, well. Oh, one of them's ready. Do I have this guy on Real ID? I do. I don't know why. I have friends, Rifkin.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You can now do the Toy Story song. Like, you got a friend.
Oh, I hate that song.
Well, maybe this is why you don't have friends to gloat about in the first place.
I never liked the soundtrack for Toy Story. That was one thing I always hated about it. Nope, sir, you're not allowed in here. Go away. Okay, I'm gonna assume they're both ready now. Hooray! Let's get into game. There we are. It's going to be on Dust Towers. If you're not familiar with this format, because you're brand new to the cast, it is a best of 5, 2 best of 1s, a 2v2, an Archon match, and then an ace match of 1v1, where the players aren't predetermined, unlike the other 4 games, so the lineups are submitted for a reason. The maps are also presets. Each week changes things up, but of course it's Thursday, so we're still on the exact same map order as we were on Tuesday. These guys, I think, are actually even in series score, that's the word, 2-0, 2-0 for both teams, so I don't know why one of them would have said they were, I don't know, we're gonna win, because this actually might be a good match, I don't know. Well, this, I don't know about a good match, but overall, the best of 5 might be good.
Sure.
Or you might just...
I don't necessarily agree with that if one team comes into this with the attitude of we're going to lose, but maybe. Maybe.
I don't know, man. They have Buster. See, when you asked me who had Buster, I thought you were going for a Arrested Development joke.
No, I would have loved to, though. That would have been so much more clever.
Not that Buster is actually a GM, but here he is in the top right for Waterloo. He's the Green Terran. He's Busta.
And his opponent in the bottom left, they say he has a nice butt, and that's how he got his name. It's Ace.
What?
Ace? He's got a nice ace.
Oh, that was a reach for me.
Well, no, because that would be sexual harassment.
That was actually pretty
Reaching
clever.
for that ace.
I'll give you a 9 out of 10 for that one. So, it is a TVT, which I totally knew when I got in here. The races are also submitted, so I could actually just check that. TVT, yeah, I see it all. Oh, and a random player for the 2v2 again. Must be popular.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, sorry, to explain, I guess, a little bit, guys, there's some misunderstanding on the time at which one of the teams had to submit their roster. So this got started a little bit late and with a little bit of confusion because, you know, even though this is scheduled to play out at 7 p.m., one of the teams thought they had till midnight, which, I mean, 1 + 1 = 2, you just kind of piece it together. But at any rate, AS is actually doing something a little bit cheeky here. Now, I'm not a big fan of many barracks openings in TVT. The Reapers are so easily shut down by somebody who has halfway decent control. Factories come out fast enough. It would be impressive if this won, and I don't blame him for going for some cheese, but I really don't have confidence in this build. Excuse me.
Yeah. Oh wow, it's a 3 racks Reaper. I really would have preferred this 3 racks to be closer to though. I think that this actually feels like he was like, why not? But oh well, we'll see how it does. Now, scouting this, you would be able to tell. I'm gonna break the graphs here because we're probably not gonna need them. You'd be able to tell with the lack of command center. I mean, we might not. Hey, whatever. And this, of course, the second gas that something fishy is going on. And you know, I think the first reaction should be: is it a 2 racks, or in some cases, a 3 racks? Now, by going for the command center against a 3 racks, even if it's not proxied, you are endangering yourself. Even with the Hellion coming out, so 3 Reapers at a time is just a lot to work with. The bunker is, you know, something, I guess, but Reapers, you know, their whole thing, the whole shtick is that they can go around the bunker.
Yeah, but I do like that they'll have a place to fall back to. The Marines can hide. They should have sniped that Reaper off, actually. That would have snowballed really hard. SVs do need to be pulled into this, not just for the sake of the bunker, but soaking some hits. So Buster's really got to put this on A move, but AS, we all know the dangers of this. Doesn't matter whether it's TVT, TVZ. If you lose one of those Reapers early on, you really set yourself back.
Yeah, that is pretty bad. And again, you know, if he had proxied both of the barracks right here, this would actually feel so much better. I mean, hell, if he had proxied all the barracks, but Buster did bother scouting. And now, with as simple as that 1 Reaper dying, you have lost a lot of momentum. The lack of grenades is also, I think, noteworthy. We didn't really see them. We saw the 1 at the very end. And 3 Reapers versus this much is not so bad, but it pops out of the bunker. It looks a lot better. They are going to trap themselves, basically. But that is some nice grenade usage now.
Granada. Of course, that Hellion is getting some good shots off. This is actually not being controlled super amazing by Green, if we're going to be completely honest, but he's still going to clean this up. And just defending in this situation puts him in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
Now, AS does start a command center back at home, and I guess some of the macros slipped a little bit for Buster, or maybe it was a bit of that supply block for that was 3 seconds or so, but either way, he's back on producing SCVs now.
Yeah, this was not a phenomenal start. This wasn't a good start, actually. This was a fairly bad one, losing a 3 racks Reaper build straight up. It's kind of all in. However, usually you're able to get something done with it, so either a couple of SCV kills, entirely killing the army while you're losing your own, like something. The fact that he only got 3 SCVs for what he did is not good at all. The secret command center is kind of cool. I like that idea. Too bad. You actually, I wonder if going for the gold would have been cooler, but oh well. The attack from Buster is now on the way. It is accompanied by a medevac and Hellions. There is no wall off because, well, the barracks was out of town. It was over here and over here. And
I'm surprised you put reactors on them, actually. That surprises me most. And this top left command center, I mean, if he gets away with that, that's kind of a cool idea, but more often than not, you know, we see these secret bases fail, and one of the big things is AS just spent 400 minerals on the other side of the map, but he probably could have put bunkers down at home, had anything out at all. He's going for a Widow Mine, which isn't going to hold up in this situation. The Hellions will clean all this up, and I think, kind of as we expected, Grandmaster versus Diamond was only really going to go one way.
It just, I really feel like the 3 racks, you know, can be cheesed appropriately and can cheese out a Grandmaster who well, doesn't take it seriously, you know, is like, it's a diamond, like, I don't care. That especially could have worked. So I liked the plan, but the execution was definitely not there. And the building placement I also didn't appreciate. If you're gonna all in, if you're gonna cheese, like, just go balls to the wall, you know? Put every single barracks out there, I don't care. At least the 2. But that was going to be a quick 1-0 for Ryerson. I believe. No, Buster. We just went over this. They have different names on the stupid lineup. So, yes, Waterloo has gone up 1-0. Now we will have Sky Prodigy versus Masa?
Masa.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm just...
like elevate Masa?
Yeah, I'm
Like
simply
Masa
confused.
Masa?
Because the
Like
lineup...
he's not allowed to play in anything WCS Masa?
I don't know. But, like, I just confused because the lineup on the actual website is completely wrong then. So, whatever. So, pay attention to the one that I got here.
Whoa. Putting two pairs of glasses on at the same time initially makes things really blurry, but then makes things more clear than I've ever seen them, but only if I focus in like one spot at a time.
Are you high?
No, I've just put both glasses on because I was curious to see what that would feel like, and
It's one thing to play
evidently-
Overwatch while casting CSL, Rifkin, but
Look,
whole nother thing.
I won that game, alright? I will have you know.
See, if you were casting the Toronto University still, that would make more sense. Ha!
God.
Canada jokes that I actually get. I know, one of them. Woohoo!
Zombie Grip, please.
Sky Prodigy Masa, that's right. Who aren't online.
Oh, excellent. So there's no way that could lead to anything bad, like a disqualify. So I was playing that new game today, Rainbow Six Siege or whatever.
Yeah?
I learned that that game is not like Counter-Strike, and that you should not run around with a shotgun haphazardly.
Yeah, that's kind of its thing.
Yeah, well, when I play a shooter game, I expect to just be able to run around with a shotgun and at least get a kill and maybe die in the process. I learned you had to be a lot more sneaky beaky. So today I'm like all about the sneaky shit.
beaky.
Yeah, sneaky beaky.
Isn't it sneaky deaky?
Ooh. Did you read this tweet from Masa? I think I have a suspicion why he might not be here.
I don't know, but is this time up with what Olivia is on about?
I don't know. He's apparently recently single and doesn't know if he wants to ladder or not for WCS. So if his heart's achy breaky, he may not care too much about CSL. I hope that's not the case, but damn, that sucks if it is.
Aww. He's breaking up with the United States. He's breaking up with his girlfriend. It's not a good
Breaking
year
up
for
with
Masa.
Blizzard.
It's not a good year for him.
Mm.
Masa is online. He's just not in the channel. Tell him get in channel. You know, I think. Okay, another one of these things where you should force people to do it so they understand, because otherwise they're just going to be like, oh, what's the big deal? Like, you know, a cashier always gets yelled at. You make the person who yells at cashiers be a cashier, and then maybe they don't yell so much. Organizing
okay.
Starcraft 2 tournaments. I really think a lot of players are like, channel, what's the big deal about getting into a channel? They'll have my name, they'll have a contact somehow, and they just don't think it through. So they don't join the channels. And it's just like, okay, yeah, sure, we could get your coordinator, and your coordinator could invite you, and then I could invite the coordinator into the lobby, and then he could just, you know, suggest you to game. Like, that could all happen. Or get to the channel.
I mean, so here's a legitimate problem that is, I'd say, afflicting the CSL. And I only bring this up because I'm really worried and hoping that this doesn't end up affecting the test league where Blizzard's running too. Because a lot of this shines light on some of the amateur players, and it's all good, whether it's coming from CSL or test or you name it. But the problem is a lot of these guys are definitely amateurs, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with being an amateur. But all of these same amateurs appear to have a little bit of fight in them, where it's like, the rules? I ain't about following rules, man. What are you, the dean? I just there's an unnecessary amount of pushback for poor Cheesehead Logic, who has to admin all this, and I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
Because it does make things a headache, and we've been on that side of things. Like, so I'm sure he's lurking in chat, and I know there's only like a handful of people here tonight, but like, if you guys are here, make sure you give Cheesehead Logic a bit of thanks, because he has to go through hoops to make the most basic things happen for the CSL sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Cheesehead Logic for doing all that, too. He's actually definitely one of the more responsive admins we've worked with. Like, he's always actually paying attention. I think he also does Dota at the same time, so... Legit.
Oh well, then fuck him. I don't care anymore.
Oh,
I
okay. My
thought
bad.
I thought this was a StarCraft man full of passion, not a halfer. Not like that crank guy who plays 2 games at the same time.
Dude, he's getting so much attention for that. Like,
Dude, YouTube tweeted about it. That's so cool. Like, I love Crank, and I'm so happy for him. But also, like, a little bit of fuck you jealousy, right? Like, how cool is that?
yeah, that is really cool, and it's something that he didn't, I don't think he
I
considered
don't
was
think
going to be such a big deal. He was just like, this will be stupid.
I would think this. I hope he monetized that video. It has like 100,000 views right now. Even if that has like terrible AdSense, he still makes like, I don't know, a couple $100 off that video.
Yeah, that's really cool. I hope he gets a lot of attention on his stream too. I haven't actually checked his numbers since then.
I've been creeping him. I'm a little bit sad people aren't subscribing to his YouTube channel because all of his videos are pretty good.
Yeah, he actually makes videos, like with like graphics and stuff.
I know the intention to do things and not just use it as VOD storage like some lazy casters do.
Yeah, I mean, I respect Base Trade TV's YouTube because they actually upload shit. I'm doing nothing.
Oh, I was shitting on our
I
YouTube
know.
channel.
I know. I was going one step deeper.
Inception. All right, so Masa is online, by the way. He appears to be in a game. Or is
He's
it
in our
a
lobby.
Oh, I'm the only one who's not there. Cool.
No, Sky had the lobby bug. Yeah, there are two reasons as to why it is not these guys' faults sometimes to like whether they're not on a channel or whether they don't join a lobby. The lobby bug still exists. The channel bug I think actually did get fixed, so no more excuses for that.
So which side is Masa on? Was it Buster's team?
Nope. He's on RIT. That's how you remember the acronym. but-
I see. All right.
Ryerson. I mean that might be why they think they're gonna lose, but Masa can only appear in 2 of the games.
At
So
most.
this
yeah.
1v1 and probably the ace, and they gotta hope their 2v2 and their Archon team do really well. Alright. Ready? It is going to be a TVZ, another GM versus Diamond match. Might look the same, who knows? It's going to be on Arena, so again, maybe a cheese, this time controlled better, just frankly. Could go pretty well for Sky, is his name. As you can see here. Oh, my wishes. Joey brought his little buddy. Rifkin Apollo carried his little orange
Oh my
kitten
god, Jesus.
all the way up and then opened the door with it in his mouth and was like, "Can I come in?" Oh, Jesus.
Look at my face right now. I want you to see my face. Like,
Hold on. Okay, I got it. But it was so cute. I just love when he does that.
the disgust isn't at what you've said, it's the jealousy. Because my cat's just sitting behind me like a lazy ass. Sleeping. She's not sleeping, she's peeing. Okay, well, Zombie Grub fiddles with her cat. I guess I'll start the introductions. Spawning here in the bottom left side of Arena. His team is down 1 point at the moment. We'll see if he can bring it back for his university. It's Elevates Masa.
He jumped up on the chair to say hi. In the top left, going for 1 base spawning pool, it is the Red Zerg Sky.
So Buster taking a nice lead for Sky does give him a little bit of wiggle room. It is worth noting, however, that Sky is about Diamond League for those who didn't see the load screen. And while I have nothing against that, hey, some of the best people in the world are Diamond League, I'm just saying. It is coming against Masa, who I feel like, okay, everyone sees Grandmaster as like this kind of top tier, but it does go beyond that. Like there's Grandmaster and then there's like competitor and there's WCS competitor type thing.
Yeah.
And while the other 2 ranks are kind of imaginary and not technically real, they are very relevant because Masa is a contender in many different ways, most of which he actually just qualified for our Ting tournament in North America through the winners bracket, no less, too. So we did talk about there's some outside factors I don't want to go into because stream and gossip and all that, but I think even with any outside factors afflicting him today, I still feel that he's probably still going to be very much ahead of Sky here.
Yeah. And, I mean, It would be a hope, but I would hope that actually playing StarCraft 2, I mean, you really start to focus in when things start getting tough and you start multitasking everywhere, that you actually kind of get into a zen. Some players do anyways. Some players just rage and break keyboards. Anyways, he does scout the lack of a hatchery. I don't really think he like bothered getting that deeply in here. Actually, yeah, he saw the roach warren just with the rally that was set, so he knows what's up. It is not a bad cheese at all from Sky, especially on this map with the way ZVT can work right now. You can just sit outside with a couple of Ravagers and actually just poke, and sometimes its Heron slips up. But it is still pretty heavy on that control. It's not a move. I guess no Ling, not even Ling Bling is technically a move, but you get the point. Like, it's actually going to be a lot more of a harassment and hoping that Terran messes up than it is actually going to bust anything.
Can you still hear me okay if I sit like this?
Yep.
Cool.
The starport's on the way, and a tech lab probably is going to be for those tank drops, which are going to be used both defensively and offensively. If he was really worried about this push, he could have gotten the tech lab before. In fact, I mean, he might be going for Banshees, just based off the tech lab, not getting the tank first, but he keeps it on, so it is going to be for that tank drop. He deals with the Ravagers so easily, which is quite unfortunate. It's like, they really are supposed to just sit out there and do, like, maybe minimal damage, but still something to make up for the one base, like killing a bunker, forcing a second bunker, getting a couple free Marines, because they can kite them, but did not happen. Masa just stepped forward and Sky retreated, which, there's another thing, like, we talked about the GM, and then competitor, WCS competitor, and then, you know, the foreigner hope, I suppose, is that tip top on the NA ladder. And some of that actually goes mentality-wise, you know? Like, you're GMs, you have the skills, maybe you're a competitor, and you have even better skills, but then you don't have the work ethic, you don't have the star power that kind of creeps other people out, not creeps people out, but, you know, scares people. You don't have that best of 5, best of 3 build order mentality type, you're just, you know, the ladder grinder. And, you don't do so
Why is
hot.
that funny?
Nothing, no reason.
I mean, that's how you smooth stones. You put them in a grinder.
Yeah, exactly. But the point is, I think that Sky knew his situation here, and that does affect you. It obviously affected his build, and it's going to affect how he plays out this game, too. The lair on the way, speed, a couple of drones as well. He does need to go ahead and surpass Masa here, because Masa's already on his third base.
Too bad he didn't go with the Liberator, because after he picked up his Ravagers, that would be the perfect follow-up.
Yeah, no Ravagers, nothing really to stop him. Yeah, there's no Spore Crawlers either, which I think versus Terran on this map, you just put one down, you've covered yourself from about 90% of drops or harassment. But, oh well. Then another drop comes in, this time fully loaded with Marines, going to actually get a gas extractor, but at least pulls the drones entirely away. They are just going to transfer to the third base, but they'll want to go back to the main. Still down in drones, it's just not where you want to be as Zerg, and Masa should just follow this up, honestly, with the push at the front, if he had medevacs.
I like that medevac micro, by the way. That's really cute.
Because I missed it. This does save the medevac, could repair it up, and he doesn't even really need the medevacs. Like, he could actually just push with this army, start clearing up the creep, take advantage of this position right here. That's what you do in every single matchup, even in TVP, as you saw today earlier in the Korean qualifiers. And you will be good to go. It's really hard for the other person, whatever race they are, to break such a position. The Overlords are still getting cleaned up as well, so that is, you know, kind of free, just damage for Masa. 100 minerals, 300 minerals, I think. That's the third Overlord that has died. Yep. I've gone into just producing, basically, supply to get those roaches that he really needs.
Well, he does all this before Stim's finished, and Stim is going to finish here in just a moment. The Viking comes on the backside and he starts chipping away at the Overlords. Oh dear.
Yeah. And this is game with that natural being cut down like that. Not unexpected, gotta say, but Sky had a good idea. I think that it just was, well, that was one of the things that's a professional, like, okay, Bly does it right, because Bly is not only a professional gamer, but he's also, like, one of the best aggressors in the world. And he will hold that position. He'll get maybe 2 more roaches and just constantly beat back the Terran who's scared of what's following because it's Bly and you're not really sure, like he's about to all in you or what. And he might still not do so hot because Masa did have a good reaction to it, but he would have done a better macro game beyond that than Sky did. So, good idea, just not on Masa's level. But I don't think anyone in this chat channel is.
No, not even the other Grandmasters. Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
Not even the other Grandmasters we have lurking here. But luckily, it's not going to be necessarily all about that 1v1 skill because we do have a 2v2 and an Archon mode match to go through now.
It's going to be on Seething Jungle. We did see this on Tuesday. It's a map that does have shared main bases, but not a comfortable natural to take for either one of them. So it's still a 2v2 that's going to be more based on aggression. I think that would be the best way to play anyways. We'll see what they actually have planned. I mean, it's kind of cool not just to have 2v2 and Archon mode in here, but to actually potentially have people that are those 2v2 snipers who do have like really good builds, who've actually studied 2v2 and they know that, you know, this build is better than this build and this race dynamic is better than this race dynamic. We had guesses. We kind of learned some about 2v2 when we cast a long time ago. Gosh, like a year and a half, 2 years ago now, because it was in Heart of the Swarm. Damn.
Yeah, about a year and a half, I think, is about right.
That is a long time. I'm just gonna ask them all to say here. 2v2, please say here. I'm gonna make sure to change that game heart.
That's right, the 2v2 overlay.
Yep. We learned that, for instance, Terran Zerg, Hellion Ling, that is probably the most standard attack you'll see in 2v2 if you play it yourself. That can be pretty good. Doubling down on races is not usually ideal, although obviously, you know, double Zerg can have really strong cheeses. Double Protoss could be really good in the late game. It's usually better to have something else with them. I did note that we had a random player in this, I think on Waterloo. Yes, on Waterloo. It's Power Foe is a random player. We saw a random player on Tuesday too. That looks so hot.
Well, I mean, all of these kids are barely legal, so I can't comment on that.
I forgot what I said because my mom came in, so I assume it's going to be something weird and just gloss over it.
Rude.
Oh my god, the 2v2 guys are not here, and they're not saying here, so... Great. Here's the music in the background as I'm going to be paying attention to the chat channels now.
Yeah.
Sin.
Again, a little bit of issue with organization tonight, so there may be some hiccups in this first series. I hope the second series goes smoother.
Constant is his name. Okay.
Ha! Yo, I got this great Valentine's Day poem. Are you ready for this? This comes from Imgur.
Okay, okay.
Roses are red, foxes are clever. I like your butt. Let me touch it forever.
Okay, here's mine, right?
Whoa.
Wait, actually...
Hang on, my phone just like slammed on the desk. What the fuck? Okay, go.
No, hold on. I gotta tell it right, you know, and too busy just dealing with the 2v2ers. 2v2ers, please. Is the song almost over? Oh, it is.
Oh, this is really nice. Got a message from one of our sponsors. I won't say who, but they are. So I saw the shit on Reddit. Just want to let you guys know we've been super happy working with you, and it's unfortunate people can't see you the way we do. That makes me feel good.
Aw.
Although, in fairness, I am having a hard time really investing into Reddit because over the last 3 years of using it, it's like, these 3 months they love me, these next 3 months they hate me, these next 3 months they hate base trade TV, then back to hating me specifically. Like, it bounces around so much. I've just become like caustic to it.
Just never bother with Reddit.
I love the front page of Reddit. Actually, I've rather been enjoying the video section of Reddit. There's been, I don't know if you know who this. I had no idea who either of these guys were until I started reading it recently. But there's like H3H3, I guess, and SoFlo Antonio, and these are like two YouTubers that have been going at it. And I guess one of them kind of does what Pommy does and just steals content, and the other one does stuff legit. So calling the illegitimate guy out on it. And it's become this huge mess, and they're making videos that are just taking shots at each other, and one of them's like threatening a lawsuit. It's crazy. The drama there puts Starcraft Reddit's drama to shame.
Speaking of drama, we have more drama.
Oh no, what's happening?
So apparently, I brought up how okay, so I guess it's called stacking, which makes sense. Stacking races and going for the same race is not usually ideal in 2v2. But apparently it's just straight up not allowed, and that might be why we have random players, because they play Protoss and yeah. So one of the teams admitted like, oh, we did it last week. And my poor admin's like, just keep that shit to yourself. Why do you tell me this? Yeah, you're not supposed to though. I agree with kind of the players though, is that it's such an odd rule. I'm not surprised they didn't know, but. Also, like, why have that rule?
Yeah. Well, I mean, why do a best of 5 in this stranger format as well, right? Like, that's the nice thing. They can kind of customize it however they like.
Yeah. I know there was, like...
Ooh! Hang on, I got another poem, and this one's really clever.
Okay,
I actually really like this one. Roses are red, violets are violet. Don't know about you, but I'd like to see you in private.
Okay, here's mine. Roses are red, violets are blue. I thought I was ugly until I met you.
Whoa! Wow! Woo! What?
Nah, I used that one.
Here's what we could actually... Okay, clarity, guys, because I know there's going to be those people chat. Simon and I are not dating, okay? But if we were, this would be our poem right here. Roses are red, violets are blue. Pizza is great when I share it with you.
Is it cold?
If it's you and me, it's definitely cold.
Hey.
Pop that shit hot and put it in the fridge right away.
Hey. Okay, do they happen to get in the same way? Yes.
I don't know which of these is on which university.
Okay, so I'll go first.
All right.
In the top right, playing for Team Waterloo, it is the teal Terran Constant. And the purple Zerg Power Foe.
What is that clan tag? Are you for real? How is that an okay clan tag?
Oh.
Their opponents, however, in the bottom left, playing for Ryerson, I guess. It's going to be a combination of the worst and elegance. The worst elegance!
Yeah.
So just rude!
So both Zergs do go for that early pool. But of course, the blue Zerg gets a little bit quicker. We have a Perrin, a Protoss and a Zerg, and a Terran and a Zerg. I think Zerg is one of those, like, I think everyone wants a 2v2 Zerg, but Terran and Protoss can be flip-flopped on, just whoever does it gets it, I suppose. I don't know who the random was. I didn't actually pay attention. Powerful was. So, okay, it's actually coincidental that he got Zerg. And again, I think Zerg's pretty good to have in 2v2, so I think that's actually good for him. But anyways, we also have a 3 Rax Reaper from Constant.
So, looking to put on that pressure. Of course, the Ling's going to meet here in the middle of the map.
The speed is only about halfway done for both Zergs here, and the Reapers are going to dominate until then. The Protoss just kind of has to chill. You know, maybe try and help out if they can, but usually it's another idea. Proxy Stargate was something we certainly saw from a lot of 2v2 players when we were hosting those tournaments, and then right into like that Mass Phoenix style too.
Yeah, so, and that was some really good Protoss. That wasn't just like schmucks. That was Patience. That was Lilbow. That was Crank. Like, they were really good at taking advantage of early game pressure and extrapolating and expanding off of it. I do have another amazing poem, though. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
Roses are red, violets are blue, sunflowers are yellow. I bet you thought this was a romantic poem. These are just gardening facts.
Yeah.
I love
Never
this
heard
thread.
that one before.
I love this thread.
So, speed does finish for both Zergs here, but the Reaper count has grown, and with the Lings of Powerfoe covering the Reapers of Constance, I think that's the fights will actually go better for them. However, the Oracle has not been scouted. A Queen is going to be prepared, but obviously you can just sack on top of a lot of drones, and there's not a lot of drones to kill, so you can effectively just wipe out Powerfoe's mining entirely.
Ooh, those grenades are gonna hit hard. Scatter some of the blue lings back into purple as well.
Yeah. The Reapers attacking the drones could have been risky. I mean, what if blue Zergs, Zerglings had won?
Team 2 is blue, or Team Waterloo is purple and blue. Team Ryerson is pink. And the Zerg player's thinking, my ally stinks.
Did that even rhyme? I wasn't...
For the most part it did, but he's got no
Okay.
drones left, and pink was across the map with a single Oracle, so...
Well, they
just
don't.
completely capitalizing on this.
Yeah, they both don't. Both Zergs are out of mining. It's just, it's game over on the mining for both of them.
Now, this is actually a 2v2, and this is important because you can share minerals, so they can get workers going again.
Oh, the Lings get in here, though, on top of Adepts warping in. The Reapers need to come out as well, though.
Top right, we do have the Oracle going to the teal base now, looking to kill some Terran, and Reapers don't shoot up, sadly.
Yeah, that was a pretty late engineering bay. I guess maybe it's done
Oh
an
my
engineering bay as soon as they
God.
saw the Oracle, but of course that had to
This
finish. They placed down the
Oracle.
missile turret. Mules will cover some of this, and
How
they
is this
have...
not out of energy?
Yeah, right? It does finally run out of energy. That is the second
but-
Oracle.
At like 17 kills, it finally goes out of energy.
Yeah, there's
both
still
players
some
just have their
alive.
mining completely shut down. Now, Purple did get some drones back up, and I feel like this is a weird game to be in. Because we always have this happen where the Protoss seems to be the ones ahead.
Yeah, they're the ones that were allowed to chill, basically. So it makes sense. The Zerg players, it's always on them to be those early pools, either to defend or to attack and buy time for the Protoss. So Terran can be kind of the middle of the road, and that's what can make them strong. They can be good early game, and they can also be pretty decent at late game, too. I wonder if Mech would be viable in 2v2.
I think Mech is actually more viable in 2v2. Because one of the big factors of 2v2, you're not playing the macro game as much. Even in the best games we saw, it wasn't really like 5-4 base situations. It was more like 2-3 bases. And if you're pushing with that, you get those tanks across the map early and get some support behind them. I actually think Mech could be pretty damn good. Like a lot of the weaknesses that Mech presents are bridged by simply just having an ally with literally any units.
I think so too, but and there's the complication of just, you know, smaller maps, less bases to take because you have to share them.
Well, again, that's something too, where let's say you're playing with a Zerg ally who's going Ling heavy. They can give you all their gas. You don't need a third.
Yeah, that's true. They can certainly give you all the gas. I do wonder about the effectiveness, though.
Yeah, I mean, these are what ifs, obviously. There's cool scenarios. We got to play a lot of 2v2 last year in HOTS. We got to see a lot of 2v2 in HOTS. We've not done or seen any in Legacy, so this is all speculation.
Oh, kills the second Oracle. He got the first one on a pass by, so now dealing with both of them is nice to... It's nice to know. Won't be finding the Stargate anytime soon. I think they're both a little scared to be pushing out on the map. Elegance does have a Nexus up and 30 probes.
Just a comment on teamwork here as well. Elegance could have helped quite a bit. If he had done his Sim City at that ramp, there's a good chance this might not have gone so out of hand, because while there were Reapers, it was the Lings that killed everything. It was Purple's Lings that got across the map and destroyed. And I do wonder how they had that Sim City. I mean, this isn't even that wide of a ramp, right? If they had that Sim City, would Blue have been so SOL?
I'm not sure. It can be a very hard decision to decide to try and help your partner, or sometimes partners, if you're in more than 2v2, or to guarantee your own safety. Because what if your wall is broken and your warp gate is dead, but at least your partner didn't take as much damage? Is that worth it? Or is it worth letting the Protoss just be at home, well protected with their own SimCity around their own base, warp gate guaranteed, and mining pretty well? Like, it's potentially a give and take, depending if the wall breaks or not.
So I just want to point out, by the way, every race on the field right now has about 18 workers except the Protoss, who had that like 30 when you mentioned it earlier. So, I mean, if nothing else, Pink sharing his income with Blue should be a lot better than Teal sharing his income with Purple.
if Pink is even sharing. I mean, I'm sure that they gave him maybe like a 500 minerals because there was literally no drones. But
here's $50. Buy yourself something nice, but
Go see
don't
Star
come
Wars.
back to me.
yeah, but I'm not sure about beyond that. Yeah, actually, just make a bunch of adepts. Hopefully, you'll win for your Zerg partner. Speaking of which, here comes the attack. That is a lot of adepts. There aren't any Widow Mines. There's no Medivacs. This command center could be focused down by the Void Ray. Definitely doesn't want to lose that. Needs to get a repair on it with the SCVs from the main. The Lings are not too helpful versus the adepts and combination Lings too, but Banelings might be. Ooh, Banelings might be really good. Please repair that command center.
Or
Please.
send a Marine to stop the Void Ray, one or the other.
Either one. Here are a couple Widow Mines. The Banelings really aren't plentiful, and of course they don't have speed, but they are keeping the other Lings, off the back of the Marines.
They're also going to be good against the Adepts, too. We've been seeing players like Kilo.
Yeah,
if they can hit, of course, yes.
And that is the trick. It might be worth the worst here, the Blue Zerg player, for going for the kills on the Banelings, just to make sure the Adepts aren't hit. But they go for the Marines instead. A little bit of a split from Elegance isn't so bad, but obviously that was a lot of damage.
Protoss is going to Protoss this about as hard as he can, though.
Yeah, I think that is. It was just... Banelings were a good idea, but needed more.
This really has nothing to do with the race. This really has everything to do with the fact that Pink was the only one left unscathed after the early game. GG.
So it's going to be Elegance and Worst taking the victory, which is going to be a 2-1 for Ryerson.
Cool. Ryerson up in the series now.
Yep. And now we're going to go back into, an Archon mode. So not 1v1, but back to 1v1 maps and 1v1 interface.
I believe it was Ryerson who had the Archon mode play earlier, right?
Yes, AS is going to be playing again.
Yeah, so he was Diamond in 1v1, but Grandmaster and Archon. That's going to be kind of cool to see how different he can play that out.
Yeah.
Oh, my eyes are bugging me today. Too much time in front of the computer. Sorry, fam. I actually totally forgot we had CSL tonight, so I spent all day playing games. Normally, I try and break after our cast is done and not play games all day, but I did a bunch of Overwatch and didn't get off the computer at all.
I did a little bit of Overwatch with you today. I didn't realize that if they invite you to a party and you press accept, it takes you out of the game you're in. I felt a little bad about that.
I was playing with Crank after our stream, actually. Him and Oli Moly were queuing. Crank pretty obsessed with May, and I'm like, dude, you're just playing your wife.
I don't see how that's Olivia.
It's just the Chinese lady, that's all.
Well, besides that, but he like tweeted today that was like, I'm playing May, coincidentally the name of my wife, and I'm like...
Oli Mol... Oli Mol May.
What? What? Serpif. What kind of name is that? Serpif. I don't see him. First, you're just here, buddy. Okay, you got 2 out of 4. Hey. Okay, there's Seraph.
Oh, yo. Roses are red.
Okay.
Zombies are green.
Yeah.
When the dead rise, you'll be on my team.
Yeah, that's nice.
I've seen this one before. This isn't new, but roses are gray, violet's gray, everything's gray. I'm a dog. Although, I've read this thing recently. Apparently dogs aren't actually colorblind. They just don't see a lot of colors. Like, they can still see... They're not fully colorblind.
I think I've read that too.
Alright, I have once again forgotten who is attached to which team.
So, AS is on Ryerson.
And Ryerson are up 2-1.
Yep.
Nice.
Stupid lobby bug. Swear to God. Swear to Jesus. Baby Jesus.
If you can fight, I can try.
He just relogged. Okay, so serve a worst. Worst, get in here. Literally the worst.
Worst at joining the lobby.
Well, Blizzard is the worst at updating and fixing their game. Just throwing out that out too. The requested player does not exist. Well, that's new. No! That was the wrong guy, that's why. Worst. Worst, worst, worst. Worst, worst, worst. At least we have dubstep in the background. Thank God for that.
Sure. Yeah. Woo.
Well, if I was you, as in not doing the production, I'd be listening to K-pop right now. But, you know, it's still good.
What I should open Overwatch, you say? I should just play a couple games in the background, you say?
You can do whatever you want. You can cast this on the floor.
You can do what you like.
Everyone is finally here. It's beautiful! Okay, I'm also going to assume that they're all correct. Thank God Ace on the same team. And we're good to go. Okay, so it is 2-1 in favor of Ryerson. That's going to be Ace team, Ace clan tag. Actually nice that they're the same team. And it's going to be a TVT on Lairlac Crest. Excuse me.
Yay.
Yay. I do have to change the overlay, but not the game mode overlay. Did I nail it? I did not nail it. Just kind of move it over and then stop snapping! That's good enough.
Alright, are we good to go?
Yeah, now we are. In the bottom left, as the Teal Terran, they are the combination of AS and Worst for Ryerson University.
I'm not... Look at this. Looks like this is AS horse. In the bottom right, it's going to be the purple Archon Consory. Combination of Constant and Seraph.
Yes.
Now, for those who don't know what Archon mode is, I would hope you're accommodated with it at this point, but the quick TLDR is this is more or less a 1v1. However, it is two players controlling each side of that 1v1, so you're going to have a lot of the standard way to play. The difference is, ideally, it's not that you play with crazy new strategies, but you make a lot less mistakes because you have a partner helping you bridge that gap.
Yeah. Well, that is the hope. Sometimes communication is bad and you have more mistakes. That doesn't happen so much with, I guess, people who have played Archon mode with the same person a lot, but sometimes you force in an awkward situation, or maybe you got a friend to fill in. Apparently Steve's not here, according to their chats. I don't know. Then you can be like...
Did he break up with you?
No, not that Steve.
Oh.
The other famous Steve. Call me Steve.
Steve-O?
My Steve just, you know, goes by Steve.
Sometimes babe.
And he never says me, call me Steve. Like, that's just weird to say.
Mr. Ryerson was my father. Just call me Steve.
No, he doesn't say anything like that. He doesn't say much at all, Rifkin.
Oh. Just not English, or?
No, just not much at all. So, the Reaper pops out. It is a 1-Rax expand. However, they got the supply depot early, I guess, to make sure that their opponents didn't scout them, which isn't very necessary, but, you know, sometimes they'll be tricked by it. Their side of things. Oh, we see a ping. We don't hear it. We don't see it on the minimap, but we see it here. Did you yell?
What? No. What? Hello?
Oh, you laughed. You yelled.
No. Hello.
Oh god, I minimized everything. What the hell are you laughing at? What are you reading?
No, nothing.
Well,
Nothing. It's just I'm just trying to figure out why Steve doesn't talk much. Is all. Like.
oh, you trying to figure that out? It's no big deal. It's just, you know, we're a quiet couple. We mostly we mostly talk through like, you know, like grunts and like yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's really great. That's really great to hear. Little Crest was recently changed.
Communication is important in relationships.
Yeah, I would agree.
Take note for Valentine's Day.
That's why they invented poetry, so you can communicate better. I was gonna say spawn locations are actually a little bit funny because in the past, I would actually put purple at a pretty severe disadvantage, because their third would have to be either very awkwardly far away from their base to the north or closer to AS and such to the east. But with the rocks being down there now, it's actually not so problematic.
Yep. New layer lack crest. If you didn't see it last cast, as it did take into effect Tuesday. So. No need to break it down anymore, unless you want to get through it. They did get horizontal spawns, which usually creates a more action-packed and back-and-forth TVT. However, it's been quite calm so far. We're going to go for that bio, which is the only thing that really makes sense. You can try mech if you're bold for reality. But otherwise, no.
I don't even think with the addition of Archon mode, mech's going to come back, because it's really not the micro, it's the macro that screws it, and it doesn't matter how good of a macro player you are, you just can't bring mech up to that level that you need it to be all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, there will be some instances where it's totally viable and okay, but those are far and few, and I imagine even less in the amateur scene.
Yeah. So drops headed up for both players, but for AS and Worse, it's only one tank drop, which is even very good in TVT in general. But
we've actually seen a couple of these sort of cheeky moves where it's like one unsieged tank and 4 Marines. I like that so much better than just going with a sieged tank.
Oh yeah, I agree. But the purple Terran here has gone for double drops. So there's the one in the natural base. It has not been detected yet by the macro player. There he goes now. It's filled with Hellions though, so lining up those SCVs was dangerous. The drop on their side is not Marines. If this was Marines, it'd be doing a lot of damage. The tank though takes a long time unless the SCVs stack up on each other like they are right now. But they do not get shot at. In fact, still shooting at the wrong part.
Was that one of those grunts? Like, is that how you tell Steve I love you?
Do you love me?
Oh, that's exactly what I was hoping to hear, Steven.
The double drops for Purple Archon is going. They're going quite well. I wonder if they're both controlling one.
I'm actually a little bit surprised because, again, coming into this, AS, I don't know about his teammate, but AS was the Grandmaster Archon mode player. We just kind of assumed he would have this unlocked and that this would be in the bag, but this has proven to be an awkward struggle for Teal Terran.
Yeah, I really did not like their tank drop. I mean, I'm not saying at the end of the tank drop it would be so much better, but even if that was a Marine drop, or if they just simply kept the tank at home, it would be going a little bit better.
Yeah. Now, of course, Purple's starting to get its effectiveness capped out. Same with AS, as the Viking is going to give chase to that tank and medevac combo, so may just lose those in a moment. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, those Hellions do get up to the dead zone of this tank, but there's really... yeah, not enough damage to really burst these tanks down, unfortunately.
Yeah. I quickly checked the income graphs, and it has just spiked up for Purple Terran here for, you know, the players that are down by 1, so they need this win.
I do believe that tank drop did not get picked off in the middle of the map, still floating between the two bases, so I thought the Viking had killed it as you looked away, but it's still good to go.
Mm-hmm. This is a little bit more awkward. There is a single Marine in that one medevac, so...
yeah, he can snipe it if he would drop it.
Yeah, I thought that was his intention. Oh, no.
Well, the Viking gets it, now you just dead zone top of the tank, so either way.
Yep. Gonna try and get a couple of shots in before it dies. Might kill this... nope. Target the Marine.
If we kill the Hellion, it might kill the Hellion, but...
yeah.
Not a Marine that's getting healed. So, speaking of macro for a moment, once again, just kind of nodding that Purple has a bit of a lead, and one of the nice things is Stim significantly faster along than that of their opponents.
Yep. Quite far ahead. I mean, in terms of the workers' loss, it wasn't actually that bad for our Teal Terran. I guess it was 11-7 in favor of Constant and... I forget the other player's name. Saren? Seraph. There we go. But,
I was trying to guess too if I opened
right?
it up. I was like, I'll remember this. I don't need no help from F11.
But anyways, it is still like nice armies or SCV, but the army is not, and especially if you take a fight like this, just went all types of bad for AS and worse. That was one of the worst TVT fights in a while. Quite unfortunate for them, as they were behind in the army already, so now they're even further behind. That sim just finished up for the Purple Terran, and they are looking to just simply win the game now.
Shutting down the gas is a pretty big deal. It's hard to push into 2 tanks, but I think if they just split, well, not with damaged Marines now, but had they just actually chose to split and stim in, they could have easily taken on this army.
We have just like a contingency of Marines all over the place, though, for Purple Terrans, so that's not all of their army. They're still up by about double. Drop on top of the tank is pretty cool. Doesn't quite get it with the pickup, but here's a part of the army, here's the rest of the army. The medevacs are actually not being pumped out for either side. That's a bit of a mistake for them. Upgrades have also kind of stopped here for AS and Worst, and, well, they're gonna be behind on the combat shields and the +1 now, too.
Yeah, their base is looking sweet.
Yeah. They really need to take a very convincing army fights to bring this game back, and then even beyond that, they have to get a 3rd command center somehow. And that first fight did not go very well, did not give me a lot of hope. They're both not, carrying their tanks, so I really feel like if one of the micro players, whoever's, who for each team, would just pick up the tanks and roam around and take control, I think they would actually do really well. I think that's the only reason that we're so good at TVT in Archon mode, is tank drops just haven't been figured out by a lot of people. They're still like questionable, but it is better almost always to have your tanks already preloaded into the medevacs, and to be roaming around controlling the map. So either one of them doing that, they're just playing kind of hard of the Swarmish.
Yeah, I mean, it's... The upgrade leads make such a difference in mirror matchups, obviously, but more so in TVT than others. Whenever we cast a lot of these games between the pros, usually the upgrades are actually not that too disparaged, so it's not that big of a problem. I guess the kind of funny thing is with the armory being later, Purple's not able to take advantage of that +2 right away. And it does give AS maybe a bit of a chance to catch up, but it is still the fact that it's 2 base and their army supply, for lack of a better word, stinks. Now they're going to trade this out, base trade style, so if anyone in chat does have the emote, now's the time to use it. Base trade!
Yeah, there's not going to be really any stopping it for both parties.
Combat shields is so disgustingly overpowered in this situation, by the way. Well, like, combat shields are going to wreck.
Yeah, that is a really good point. Combat shields is about to finish for Teal Terran here. It's not being targeted down, or it was?
No, it was.
Oh, it was.
So it got denied.
Like, I had 5 seconds left on it. That would have been really nice to save. Now their main attack over here is... If they would stop filtering through this one little choke, wouldn't be so bad. Even if it wouldn't mind getting a couple of shots on the tanks, that's pretty cool. And their production really isn't still being camped, as opposed to Teal Terran, where their production has actually already died. Only 3 barracks now producing. Slowly sieging up the tanks forward is just not the way you really want to be able to do things. You do want to go ahead and put them in those medevacs, and... the drop on top of the tanks doesn't go so well. Not the best use of those Marines they were banking up.
Yeah, that gets cleaned up. And their attack is still going strong. So, it looks like we might have an ace match on our hand.
I think so. And with Masa on, I believe, Ryerson, that's going to be quite difficult for her Waterloo. Yeah. Well, I mean, Waterloo has Buster, so I imagine it's going to be a TVT with Buster versus Masa. But Masa is still that next tier. It's going to be quite hard for him to get the ace for Waterloo. Building an extra command center, they're taking this base trade super seriously, but unfortunately, like, it's... they're not actually base racing, which is, of course, when you want to go ahead and kill the last building before your opponent. They are just simply defending the one base that they do have. It's not even a base anymore, it's just production facilities.
I mean, no, it's a command center at the top. I mean, it's gonna really bring them back in this game. Once they get the command center down. AS not even tapping the GGs, he's just out. Peace.
GG.
Worst taps out. And, for a team that didn't think they were gonna do so hot, we got a 2-2 tie in our hands.
Yeah. Of course, you are automatically put in the Allied chat. So, we do have to wait on the reveal. A little bit of drama, I guess, involved with it. The good type of drama. The, exciting type. No, it's 2-2. I'm paying attention more than the admin? Pfft. Well, that ever happened.
So can Masa play again in the Ace?
Yeah, he hasn't played in the Archon or the 2v2.
Okay, just make sure, because I know there was like some confusion that one week, and I had no idea what caused it.
What is Poke Bunny doing here?
He's in, what, Rutgers or something?
Oh, he's in the next match. So yeah, it is Masa for Ryerson. Waterloo. It's gotta be Buster. Like, I don't know anyone else that looked like it could be on par. It is getting hot in my room. So I don't know why, but I was talking about Apollo being all cute, bringing his buddy up.
Sure.
So he does it because he's lonely. I know why he brings it up, but he always just drops it in between, like, the door and the wall, so it's blocking the door from closing entirely. And I don't know if it's because he can't fit the damn thing through, or it's because he's like, don't close the door, ever. He's actually trying to put, like, a stop in it. But I always see, like, a little cat head poking on my door, and I think it's another cat. Got too many cats. Where did Apollo go? He left. Busta! What's the Ace map?
Yeah, he is a Grandmaster player. This is the guy we saw earlier today, so it might just be a small chance to bring this back. But again, it's the difference of a Grandmaster versus a tournament player like Masa. So if I had money on this, my money would still go on Masa.
Yeah. We didn't really get to see Buster's, technique, his skill. He was 3 racks, cheese, and then just kind of moved across the map. So maybe TVT's his best, and he actually has a decent chance against Masa. Maybe Masa's in the best mental state and is gonna, mess up. But of course, they do see each other as Grandmaster. I'll get you in here too. Busta, are you ready? I'm going to take a look as we're ready. Let's do this. It's going to be on Preon Terraces, the new Preon Terraces, of course, which has a gold of the natural, but not the 3rd. Still the 4th. And I think we're already getting the next team, the next series set up, as it is 11 o'clock, and that's definitely when they should be ready to go, which is nice. Bing, bang, boom. Here we are. Ace match 2-2. In the bottom right, as the blue Terran, he is the one and only Masa.
Canada hype. His opponent in the upper left, coming up for round 2, it's going to be Buster.
Mm-hmm. Good to see his real TVT skills this time. See if they're any good. I guess just Masa playing for Ryerson. They have him always in the back pocket. Obviously don't use him for 2v2 and Archon. You always have that ace in the pocket. That was the intention of Tuesday's team as well. They had both Intense and... Oh, who was the other guy? It was on the Terran. Oh, I really can't remember. Well, they had 2 Terrans that we consider, kind of pro gamers, and they had Intense in the Ace match. They specifically did not use either one of those guys for the Archon or the 2v2, even though they could have. And Intense, unfortunately, had to leave at the very end, losing them that's almost guaranteed end spot. Luckily, Masa stuck around for his team, and almost definitely will get the win. Almost. Buster's really gotta, I guess, play pretty well today, but we don't know. Maybe he's like, I'm always baller versus Masa. You guys don't know shit. We don't know the ladder.
I mean, TVT can sometimes be a bit of a speciality. I mean, again, going back to us, not just about the tank drops, but like, we can handle this match no problem and beat just about anybody. Give us Protoss or Zerg, however, and that's not nearly as high a win percentage.
Well, we have a 1-base build from Masa and a 2-base build from Buster, so it's going to be on top of, it's going to be Buster's choice to be defensive here and just have to react against whatever Moss is going to throw at him. And I do believe Buster was able to scout that too. Yeah, he was, so he knows. Might get a very defensive setup, might play it a little bit scary and go ahead and try for an attack on his own afterwards. I have a lot of faith in Moss doing damage here, but if he doesn't do any damage at all, Buster has like a perfect defense. That's already a really great start. I mean, this is not just a natural base being up, it's a natural gold base being up so much faster.
Well, gold bases definitely benefit Terran, whether it's mirror matchup or otherwise. It just means you get that third, fourth, fifth racks down that much sooner. You get a lot of marine production, and as we see, marine tank, pretty big deal.
Yeah. We'll see how that accelerates. Fortunately, I already broke the graphs. This would have been a nice map to not break the graphs on. Oh well. The attack is kind of already commenced here. The Reaper is saved. We've not, that's not just one of those Reapers where you're like, I got a scout, so it's over and done with. You definitely do want to save that and have a push up in this ramp. Nice of Buster, smart of Buster to go ahead and just give up the natural. He would just lose SCVs if he did not. Putting the bunker at the top as there's not a wall off, also a pretty damn good idea. This isn't the only units for Masa, however. He could have gone for a drop, but he's going to go for a Liberator.
Marine Lord has actually been bunkering like this similarly recently.
I think this push has been giving a lot of people headaches. And if you have a wall but no bunker, you... Oh, okay, well, no bunker still.
Even if this bunker completes at this point, he's killed everything that can pretty much go inside of it. These Marines try to get in, but the only thing you can throw in there is an SCV at this point, and I think we may just have a very abrupt ending to the series.
I think so as well. Like I said, I was trying to go into, if you have a wall but no bunker, they just start tearing down the supply depots and eventually they get in anyways. So the bunker was a very good idea. Unfortunately, just seconds away from finishing, and that was a very abrupt end. Masa does end up taking it for his team. Ryerson University, congratulations to them. They will go up 3-0 in the standings, whereas I believe that is Waterloo's first loss. First loss. Okay, what's happening with the next one? Are we gonna start in a different order? What's up with next series? It all starts over again. We now have, I guess we'll put on the Game 2 slide. Rochester Institute of Technology versus Temple University. And they'll get their lineups ready to go too, I suppose.
Cool, so they'll give us a few minutes of break, I guess, yeah?
I'm not sure. I'm actually trying to read what's happening in this chat. Of course, that kicks you out now, so you don't have any history. Actually, this is gonna take a long time to figure out. We're just gonna go to a really small break. There's actually a lot of stuff that might be changed, so we'll keep you guys updated. I'm sure people in chat will also keep you updated, so stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back in a couple minutes.